Well, all good things must come to an end. After I delivered in Green Bay and got to see some of my friends again on Monday, they sent me right back to Pennsylvania with my next load. And as if that wasn't disappointing enough, they sent me to my least favorite place out of everywhere I've been the past 2.5 months. They sent me to Tunkhannock, which is far off the interstate in a mountainous area. Not a fun place to drive a truck to or from. But luckily, unlike on this past trip, on the way here where I didn't get any new counties at all, I will get some new counties tomorrow, taking a load up to Geneva, New York. When I last talked to you on Sunday, I explained how I came to take the leap of faith to spend $1,900 to go to Ecclesia, how I got the job that I ended up having last fall, and I explained why I was so financially scrupulous in my job searches and vocational discernment up until that point. Having been financially conservative for so long, I haven't always been willing to spend money on non-essential things for myself. Of course, it's a virtue to be charitable to others and not spend wastefully. But I've been reminded in spiritual direction more than once that it's not unholy to treat yourself from time to time. After all, Jesus commands us to love our neighbor as ourselves, not more than ourselves. One thing I did to treat myself on one of my days off from that temp job I told you about on Sunday was to spend the entire day taking a 700-mile joyride in my new car around northern Wisconsin, stopping to set foot in all the counties up there that I didn't get to visit on retreats and other events of Spiritus. I think I told you about this when I first drove into Wisconsin and named all the counties for you a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so this is when I did it. It was exactly 1 year ago on Monday. May 23rd of last year that I took this trip. It was less than 2 months into my time with Spiritus that I officially decided to start keeping track of all the counties I visited and make an effort to set foot in, not just drive through as many of them as possible. On my road trip from Wisconsin to Ecclesia, up in North Dakota, and then from Ecclesia back home to Philly, I was able to visit all the other counties in Wisconsin that I hadn't been to yet and didn't visit on the day-long joyride that I took. And this road trip made me realize and remember how much I loved just going on these long road trips and seeing so much of the country. And this brought me to the realization that if God didn't want me working in Catholic ministry for any portion of my life, driving would be the only secular job that I would truly enjoy. So for the first time, I thought about the possibility of becoming a long-haul trucker. After I came to that realization, I spent some of my free time during those temp job weeks watching YouTube videos like this one, trucking blogs, informational videos on what it's like to become a trucker. And I quickly learned that there's a lot not to like about the job, but I had faith that my humility would help me to avoid getting too stressed over all the unpleasant stuff if I ever did it. And so far, it has for the most part. And of course, I'm a sinner, so I'm not always perfect at it, but most of the time I'm able to control my temper pretty well when things don't go as planned. Since before I started CDL school, I've been praying for all the unhappy truckers that I've seen on YouTube. I prayed that God would provide what they truly need, and that they would receive the grace to act more humbly when things don't go their way, like not getting paid as much as they thought they would. Now, I know most drivers out there have a lot more bills to pay than me, and I admire them for doing this job under that financial pressure. Maybe someday I can personally relate to them. But for now, all I can do is give them the honor they deserve and pray for them. It saddens me to see some of them get so angry when things don't go their way, because while it's understandable and normal to feel that way, speaking and acting on those feelings doesn't make anything better. Yeah, there might be occasions where giving someone else an attitude will get you a little more pay for a particular load, or get you out of a shipper or consignee's lot a little faster. But that negativity has a ripple effect. The more of it you throw at others, the more of it they'll probably throw back at you. And if you're like that with your dispatcher or other people at your company, it's not going to make them like you. And it won't help your chances of getting a raise or more desirable loads or whatever else you want from them. As for me, I try my best not to let the unpleasant things I have to deal with in this job affect my attitude, because I know Jesus wouldn't either. And I know I'm not alone in my determination to bring more positivity to this industry. If you watch Allie Knight's channel, you know she does an awesome job of staying positive, even in the face of disappointment, for purely secular reasons. And her vlog was one of my biggest inspirations to start this vlog. Out of all the trucking vloggers I've seen, Allie most closely resembles the kind of trucker I want to be. In addition to our shared value of positivity, we're both doing this for the love of travel more than for the money. And we can both stay out on the road for weeks or months at a time because we don't have any obligations, family or otherwise, that require us to have regular home time. And before you ask, no, I do not have a crush on Allie. The lifestyle of this job isn't conducive to dating, and even if it was, I don't feel God calling me to date anyone right now, and I'm perfectly happy being single. Besides, Allie is several years older than me, and has said in her videos that she never wants to try getting married again. To me, she's a role model, and hopefully we'll get to meet on the road someday and become friends, but that's it. So that's how I first came to start thinking about becoming a trucker. But when I first started thinking about it, it remained just in the back of my mind as I got ready for Ecclesia and the new job that I'd be starting afterward. Ecclesia was awesome. I got everything that I hoped I would out of it. It really helped me to build on the spiritual strengths that I gained from Spiritus, especially in my trust in divine providence. And I did several things at Ecclesia that were way out of my comfort zone, like playing soccer and participating in an optional swing dance lesson. And I surprisingly had quite a bit of fun doing it all. Except when they made us play basketball. I am so awful at basketball that even playing with some of the friendliest, holiest, most fun-loving and non-judgmental guys on earth didn't make it fun for me. But seriously, going to Ecclesia was one of the best decisions I ever made. I had some really powerful prayer experiences, memorized some prayers in Latin, got to be an altar server for the first time, had a grace-filled silent retreat, and left with yet another group of Catholic friends from all over the country, in addition to my Spiritus teammates. Now, there was one little bit of suffering I endured as a direct result of Ecclesia, and although I would be comfortable talking about it here, I'm not going to because I don't think it would be appropriate. All I'll say about it is that, by the grace of God, I was immediately able to forgive the person who hurt me, embrace the pain as a gift of humility that helped to unite me with Jesus on the cross, and then forget about it and move on with my life. Till next time, please keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you in mine. God bless.